Sit back and relax while I listen to Train Kickers podcast. I'm Dave, and along with my co-hosts Dan and Steve, we're going to take you all around the world of miniature wargaming. Tonight's episode, we're going to discuss Warhammer 40k, and in particular, we're going to go through the various Eldar news that they have coming out, as well as some of the rumors that have been going around. And now, on to the show. All right, and how are you gentlemen this evening?
I'm doing fine, Dave. I'm doing fine. Just sitting here modeling my, oh, thank God, 20 blood letters out of 120.
It's too
Mostly
many
because I
models.
bought most of the blood letters. Yeah, no. Well, I but the good news is that I bought most of the blood letters either lightly sprayed or not painted at all. So they are literally like not new and sprue. They're built, but they're blood letters. But the good news is like they're super easy to build. Literally, it's two legs. The legs don't matter. It's the two leg halves are exactly the same. They're just like some have horns, some have don't, but they all have the same pose. I think is the way to put that, right?
Okay.
It's like they all have different designs, but they're all the same exact pose. The body is all one piece, and the head is not one piece. It's two, but it's literally like it's one of the easiest models I've ever had to build. Essentially,
I
which is
built
nice.
I built
Nice
a
change.
pack of 10 or 20 years and years ago, and I do remember that. Yeah, they from what I remember they went together pretty easy and were fun to paint. Just being able to work with different shades of red.
Yeah, and I found this really cool video from Games Workshop actually on how to paint them using contrast paints. So
Oh no, they
I'm
would
gonna
take very
I'm gonna
well
do
to that
that.
because they're not very smooth models, so it'll go very well.
No, they had a little like little tiny nubbins, almost like like pimples, on their back and like little. It's almost like little tiny horn. I like them. They look really cool in my opinion.
All right, and
I
how about
was
you, Steve? How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right. Working on some more 10 mil fantasy stuff because I have finally finished my Titanicus campaign, not my models. I completely failed my resolution to finish my maniple by the end of the year before, but the campaign I was running is finally finished.
Nice. With that
Had
and
a
this
big,
Saturday.
yep, that was the big event this Saturday. Dan came up for it. We played a basically we had a mega battle and
All right.
then several smaller games surrounding it. And the smaller games influenced the mega battle because
Okay.
not everyone wants to be at a table with six guys waiting their turn to roll dice. And people just want to be at their game. So a little bit of everything for everyone. They still got to have an influence on the larger fight without having to be in the thick of it.
Okay.
And it
Yeah,
actually
absolutely.
led to some great moments.
Yeah, no, it was pretty
So
fucking amazing. I will point out that Steve was an excellent host, and the games
I do
were
what I
very
can.
fun.
I do what I can. So, yeah, so the mega battle is basically the remaining loyalists on the planet are making one last push to bleed the traitors as much as they can. Because at this point, they've lost it. They've lost the campaign. They don't have control of any major, transporters or anything. So like they're stuck on the planet, and the rulers of the planet are all like, yeah, go Horus, we don't want to pay these imperial tithes, so we're gonna side with the traitors because fuck the emperor. And they're cut off and they're isolated, so they're fighting these guerrilla battles. Um, a force gets sent up into the jungles where the last of Legio Tempestus, loyal Tempestus, is defending basically a giant geomantic cannon weapon thing. Basically like a super tactical earthquake machine.
Okay.
So every other round, whoever controls the center of that table gets to bring in a 10-inch blast onto the other table. And it's basically like a super quake round, so it's gonna bypass shields, does a bunch of hits because the ground's unstable, quake, concussive. It's not super strong, but it has lots of rumbling. Um,
Not super
and
strong. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna pause right there and say,
mhm,
what it did do was like annoy. So, for example, one of them hit my war
the
bringer,
bringer.
Warbringer.
who is on first fire, and I was playing the maniple. I was playing the mega battle, so I had 4,000 points. So I actually had two maniples, and one of the maniples I brought was my warbringers can use line of sight from the warhounds, And he was literally ready to open up on 2 warhounds that were shieldless completely with 3 volcano cannons. Because he was also mutated with Frozen Soul. And the fucking Quake cannon rotated him 45 degrees in the other direction to basically shoot the other way, which was fine because I still got shots down range. But I'm just laughing because I was like, God damn it. It was it was
Yeah.
just funny.
It's like things like that. The loyalists began the game in control of it, and they were running defense scenarios. They were controlling the center of this table, and traders are coming on from all the sides because they find out, oh shit, the loyalists have this weapon. Send a force up to deal with them. Meanwhile, there's a larger battle, the mega battle table. There's other table that was like the airfield that was providing what's it called, airstrikes throughout the game to both sides. Never really had too big of an influence though. But yeah, it was a good time. We had 9 people plus myself come out to the event,
Nice.
gave out awards for everyone for things they did throughout the rest of the campaign. Like I
He
get,
got an
there's an
award.
award for
I don't know how the
best battle.
producer of the campaign gives himself an award. I don't know.
I didn't get any
Call the
awards. I should have. I should have gotten all of the awards because I did the most terrain work.
call the ITC.
I ate
Call
the
the
most
ITC.
this. I was the best of the Black Shield players. It's fine though. It's fine. I passed them all along to the second best. But no, it was a good time.
Yeah.
Good turnout. Probably gonna run like a standard tournament in a couple months, like a month and a half or so. Just to keep the Titanicus energy going.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't have it in me to run another campaign right now. So yeah,
Yeah, because now
taking
it's
a
epic.
short break from that.
Now it's epic time.
No, 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 no. The next thing is going to be Zone Mortalis Heresy. I'm hoping 1,000 point like intro sort of game.
Okay,
Maybe there's gonna
I'll allow
be
it.
BFG on the side. Some of the Manhattan guys were saying they wanted a BFG thing, so I got to talk about that with people.
BFG
See
or
what's
epic,
going
I'll
on there.
take.
Okay.
BFG or epic, I will take either or. You know me. Two my top
Yeah.
2 favorite games, literally my top 2 favorite games. I will 100% show up for that.
But yeah, it's great. The campaign went really well. I'm really happy with all the work everyone put into it, between the armies, the battle reports, just all of it. It was an absolutely wonderful experience to have. We raffled off a bunch of prizes between plastic kits and 3D prints or either
But yeah,
upgrades or like
I
casing materials.
you had
And
some
then
really
Dan shows
great
up,
prize
hey, I got
support.
these left over.
Yeah, you got some really good prize support. He 3D printed. Don't worry, we won't say from where, but he 3D printed some really cool, epic sized like Heresy Marines. I donated some of like the custodies that I wasn't using. He actually had like Aeronautica boxes that I actually won. Actually won one of the Aeronautica boxes. Um, he 3D printed. It's not a Warhound. What the hell is it, Steve?
Oh, the Hermes mech. Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
Grimdark Terrain stuff from this month. It's a gorgeous kit, and I'm kind of sad that I don't have one for myself. So I might be like, hey, I need another 2 or 3 of these printed for no particular reason. Just give them to
basically a
me.
loader Warhound.
Yeah,
It's a
it's like
Warhound
the
outfitted
Ripley
for.
aliens mech crossed with the Sentinel, crossed with the Warhound almost.
Okay.
Like it's all modular, so like you can put a crane on the back or loading arms in the front, little buzzsaw arms, or I think with a little bit of tweaking, you could
Yeah,
probably fit
no,
Warhound arms
also
onto it.
worked. No, I saw it. Some guy was fooling around with it already.
Nice. See,
It was
I need
really
to get my
good.
hands on one of those for myself because the 3 that I printed did all go home with someone. One here, 2 there. It was a good time. Oh, and also some Lucius upgrades for Reavers because 2 of our people were like, "Yeah, I kind of want to do an Astorum Force as my second one." I'm like, "Oh, nice. Forge Road Lucius is their home. Cool. I'll get some Lucius armor upgrades in the mix.
Very nice.
Good time. Good time."
All right. That seems a little bit of a roundabout way we went about covering hobby, but I that sounds like it's everyone's hobby. I know I didn't really do much of anything. I've just been busy with a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's fine. There's always theoretically this week we'll see what I get into. Um,
Dave is slowly grumbling into his computer. He's looking like sideways at his desk that is empty.
no, no,
Slow
no.
dust.
Honestly, there's not that much unpainted around here. Honestly, I did get done 4 more Marvel Crisis Protocol models. I think I
Oh,
have
nice.
four
What did
that
you
are
get done?
unpainted. And I have like one Titan that needs to be painted. That's it. That's and a bunch of A Song of Ice and Fire, but you know, I'm not so worried about painting that. I'd like to paint more of it, but some of that can just be is not the more enjoyable painting that I like. So I'll get to some of it when I get to it. But otherwise, the main stuff that I would care about or I want painted is essentially done, other than about 4 models and a Titan or two. So well, we'll see. But all right, so why don't we go through a bit of news then for a while, because
Of course,
there's
of course.
quite a bit has actually been going on.
Oh yeah,
Um,
no, probably even more. We'll probably miss some too.
oh, we
To be
absolutely
quite
missed
honest.
some. Since we ended up delaying when we were recording, I tried to grab a few of the other at least small things that had happened there because there was a few extras. But why don't we start? Well, maybe we'll start with the quickest thing, which is pre-orders, because there's not many. If we look
Um,
at so
yeah,
40K wise, there's it's like 2 things. It's not much
it's
because
not a lot.
Eldar
Well,
get their release coming up this upcoming week.
yeah, I was gonna say Saturday. Technically, the Eldar get their release, so technically we can include that one because they released what the pre-orders were gonna be. And you know me, I'm gonna pick up dice because I
What
always
are you
do
picking up dice for? Oh
for
yeah, I
the Eldar
forgot you
thing.
have Eldar.
You have Eldar.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
have the
completely forgot
whole.
about that.
That was actually Steve was the one who found me those boxes for super fucking cheap. And now they're like, because Eldar is super powerful and specifically Wraith units, they're like spiking on eBay. And I'm sitting
Yeah,
there like, whoo, well, thank God I had the foresight to pick this shit up.
yeah. The only 2 pre-orders they have 40K wise were the 30K models that we talked about last week, which the Blade Angels one is actually temporarily out of stock. The other one that looks
So I was
like our
going to say,
friend is not.
yeah,
Which is surprising because the Blood Angel one is the worst match for the character.
I, I agree. I don't know why the Blood Angels one is out of stock and the Imperial. I love the Imperial Fist one.
There's more Blood Angel players. That's what that says to me.
True, but damn.
More
No, but
Blood
did you
Angels
see all the
players
conversions that
don't
people
read
did?
up.
People started converting that model to like chaos, or they started converting it to like Black Templar, right? You can do a lot of that with that model. I'm just surprised. I'm just surprised. In my opinion, it's the stronger of the two models, but you know, maybe the market speaks
No,
sometimes, and
I don't think the
you know what
selling
I mean?
honestly has anything to do with 30K. I think it has to do with more 40K because there
Yes,
might be more Blood Angel players there, and they say, hey, this guy can be. You can count him as a captain, count him as wherever you want, or even just
the
a
Smash
sergeant.
Captain, they're still viable.
Yeah.
Smash Captains are still 100% viable, and he's
I
plastic too, which really helps.
Yes, I do want to mention. This isn't pre-orders because they don't currently have it, but real quick, I just want to go through the before we get into new releases for 40Ks, the new releases for AOS. Have you looked at any of these? What they're calling new releases. You can't see my air
Not
quotes.
Yeah, because I was gonna say the new releases are all what? They're like old models but repackaged into boxes. Am I correct in that assumption?
Not yes and no. So GW likes to do this thing where, hey, we're gonna save you some clicks, and that saving of clicks, they don't put it in one box. Essentially, they just ship you boxes. So they came out with 4 of them. There's one for Sylvaneth, uh, Gloomspire Gets, Seraphon, and Slaves to Darkness. And it's essentially the Star Collecting box, a leader styled unit. It might actually be a hero, or for some of the ones, it might be like a bigger monster or something like that, but leader style unit. And then a box or two of something else.
Does it
Usually a
save
leader
you
and then like
money?
one other thing, or maybe 2 things, like a duplicate of it. Zero
Wait, does it
savings on
save
any
you
of
money?
that. Surprise, surprise, because I went through and did the calculations. But what you get, their little bonus they give you, is a poster.
Eh,
Yeah. And there's only 2 of them because like the Sylvaneth and the Gloomspire Gets, it's the same poster. It's those 2 armies like fighting each
Oh,
other.
No, it is stop.
Yeah, no, yeah. You didn't see any of this?
Oh my god, it is.
Yeah, it's the same poster. The same
Right,
thing for the Seraphon and the
no,
Slaves of
and the
Darkness.
Seraphon and the Zinch one are the same too.
Yeah. The same exact poster.
Oh my god, GW, please.
And I checked it because I was like, that's probably no savings because the Glades of the Broken Vines. I'm like, that's 261. I'm like, that's a weird price. That sounds to me like it's the exact price because why would you go so particular with that number? So I calculated. It's like, yeah, no, there's zero savings. You just get a poster. I don't know if it says how big it is. Not that I want it, but I'm curious. Is it even like sizable?
Probably not.
No, I doubt it.
It's probably like those big box set posters.
Yeah, like the one that I had from Shadow.
Eldritch Omens.
Yeah.
It's not big. It's just not, worth the. I don't know. That's stupid. No,
I
in
agree.
my opinion, that's dumb.
Yeah, that's all they had there. So I wanted to mention that real fast because I noticed that earlier and it was dumb. So I wanted to talk about it. So we'll go to the 40K stuff. We'll swap over to that side. Tau have all of their releases out now. They have their dice, which will soon be going up in price and all that. But we'll talk prices in a little bit. There's a Sororitas got some dice. There's some different Space Marine captains and Primaris stuff. A bunch of the full sets for Tau stuff is sold out. Surprise, surprise. But Tau didn't get a lot of new things. They got their data cards, they got their dice, and their rule book. The other thing, and Dark Strider is new, and I think one of the Ethereals might be new. And then they have a limited printing where you can get some of the other Ethereals. I think it might be until tomorrow. We're recording on the 21st. I think it's like the 22nd or something that you can get those done. Yeah, by the time this goes out, it'll be gone because I'm not editing this tonight. So I mean, Tau have been doing quite well.
Releases.
Go ahead.
I mean, honestly, so it's not that many releases in the time we were gone. Honestly, it was more news about Eldar that that dropped essentially.
Yeah. I mean, Tau are doing quite well. There's a lot of news related to Tau, but not necessarily releases and things like that.
Oh, no, absolutely, yeah.
The news, other like new release wise, particular thing I wanted to mention, and I wrote this down in the notes, is Eldritch Omens and just the flop it's become. It is.
Makes sense.
You know what's really funny?
What's that?
It's also going up in price.
Yes, it is.
In March.
Yes, it is.
But it makes
I thought
sense.
that was hilarious.
$10 more just to stick it to all those non-Imperium players. Here's an extra $10 tax because
but it makes sense. All right. So when you released the Custodes and the Gene Stealer cults, you had 2 new codexes coming out, and you already knew that 1 or 2 of the codexes were going to be super powered, right? And Custodes are in triple S tier, but Gene Stealer cults are not far behind. They don't get
good.
top table, but they're still a very hard army.
But also, what was the price point of that box? Do you remember?
Oh. Was it 180?
Or usually the price point's 170.
Or 170. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah. It was one of those.
Omens was 200 to start.
Yep.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Eldritch Omens 200.
Yep.
Why?
And it went up to 210. Well, it is going up to 210.
Yep.
So you're telling me, this was the meme, you're telling me Chaos Space Marines had a price increase before they had a wound increase? Oof.
Yes.
Absolutely.
There's a few big problems with the box. One is the extra 30 in cost, and the hope is from different things I was listening to. Some people were saying that some of these decisions were made months and months and months ago. This could have been a decision decided on 6 months ago, and the idea is have they corrected the ship now? Did they do this and then realize it's a problem, and since have talked about we're changing some things or fixing it up. Let's hope. I think the biggest problem is the lack of models. It's 16 models.
Yeah, we had more models in the Custodes, really. Actually, someone was comparing it with...
They could have thrown in the new Guardian squad at the very least.
Yes.
Remember, I don't know if you guys remember Dark Vengeance, right? Which was Dark Angels versus... was it Chaos, I think, at the time?
Yes, it was Chaos.
Yep.
And that came with 36 models.
Yes.
For less price.
More than 36, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it 40?
Oh, I very roughly counted off.
It had 20 cultists, 10 tacticals, 5 terminators, 3 bikes, 5 chosen.
So, yeah, like GW, come on,
It
come on.
it's the box with the least amount of models. It doesn't have. I mean, it has some that are new. You have a whole
There's one new,
side that
must
we.
be one old. The rest is new.
Okay,
But
all right. So one, but and you have a whole side that they don't know when they're going to get their book.
And
So
they're still unmoved. They're still
yeah,
unmoved.
even if they weren't, let's say they up them to 2 wounds. Let's say tomorrow they up them to 2 wounds. That box still isn't selling because you're still not getting your book. You have no idea when you're getting your book. The next book after Eldar is Tyranids.
Yes, it is.
And
And those,
Tyranids are rumored for end of March, maybe
yeah,
early April, some
and
of that sort of time
those
frame.
leaks are, oh man, everything is getting super powered very quickly. I'll talk to you about the leaks later.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's fine. I've been keeping up with those because I keep going back and forth if I want to get some Necrons or some Tyranids because they both look cool.
Just get
Um,
Tyranids.
if
Get
I
Tyranids.
if I want to potentially do well, yes, Necrons. I
Yeah.
like the idea of painting them up and
The
everything
Swarm
like
Lord
that.
alone, seeing his stats was just absolutely insane.
Yes, although what I will say is he lost a few things. His invul save is
But he,
worse. He lost a couple other potential special rules from. I was reading some of the leaks on the one of the Facebook pages I was on
yeah,
yesterday. I'm not saying he's not going to be good, and the big thing is we don't know
yeah,
any points. He could
good
be
bodyguard.
amazing, but if
Yeah,
GW up the points, they shouldn't.
absolutely.
That's
But
not un.
GW still has not changed bodyguard. So you stick Swarm Lord out in the front and you stick his bodyguard unit behind a building. Guess what?
Yeah.
You saw this happen during my game with Luke.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
You can't shoot him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bodyguards. Well, would bodyguard protect?
poor
Does it
game
matter the number
design.
Yeah.
of wounds you have for bodyguard?
No, it does not.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it does not.
All
Which is
right.
why people were arguing about Long Strike.
Okay.
Because Long Strike is a character in a hammerhead. And if you stick a crisis battle suit squad next to him, the bodyguard, you cannot shoot him.
Oh,
Stick
okay.
them behind a building, and you stick him in front of the building, and you just go ham with fucking Long Strike and a hammerhead, who just one shots pretty much anything on the board. Um,
And what that does is it artificially adds value to units like Hive Guard, Basilisks, and
yeah,
those stupid buggies for the orcs. Because it gives
Hmm.
them the indirect fire, so they can actually, play a
kill the
game.
bodyguard.
Wait,
No,
wait,
you
wait,
kill
wait,
the
wait. This is
bodyguard.
a game? We're supposed to have interactions between players?
No,
That's news to me.
no. You buy
News to me.
models and you let them sit there. And you go and you get your 16 models from your Eldritch Omens box, and then you lament the fact that maybe you'll get a codex in May, and maybe then you'll have your 2 wounds. Maybe
Maybe.
But no
If they don't get two
fire
wounds,
weapon.
I'm just gonna laugh.
they got to give them two
So you just get
wounds.
shot by a long strike and can't shoot back.
My God.
When you think of any other box that they've done, every other box has more models. This is the least amount of models for the highest price. Think of starter sets. Think of Dominion. Dominion was 200. You got a rule book. You've got a lot more models than this.
You
It's
got a
almost that
bunch of
many models
models.
per faction.
Yeah.
You get a lot more. This box, it doesn't really get much. The pairing to me is a little bit odd because you still have to get to the point of you, there's probably not a great chance you necessarily have both armies yourself. Some people will, but most people won't. So then you still got to find someone to actually split the box with. And I got to split it with someone and hope that you think, the 7 models I might hand you or 8 models I might hand you are worth $100, and they're not.
They're not.
So,
Not at all.
and then as you said, yeah, it's going to 210. I'm not going to display up for anyone watching on YouTube. You can find these if you look around. You can find the spreadsheets. I'm not going to put the spreadsheets up just in case. Have either of you guys actually went through the spreadsheet and
Yeah,
lamented it?
everything's going up by about
I had
10%.
to for work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Steve
Yeah.
like I had. I was
Uh,
forced.
so when you said everything about 10%, that's sort of like the overall average, but that is greatly skewed in many ways.
Yeah.
There is oddly enough a few things that went down in price. Very few. It's like certain bases actually went down in price.
Wait,
Some
certain
I
what?
think
certain bases. So like
I believe
40K bike
one
bases actually
unit
went down
Oh,
by like 25 cents, but they technically actually went down. Dice sets went up. So like current dice sets are what, 35? They're all going up to 38.
Jesus.
The little cubes are a little bit more. Like I said, the Eldritch Omen's going to 210. Titanicus, roughly 10% across the line when you take a look at it. I sorted the other day by some of the highest. Let me see
Blood
if I can
Bowl
do
got kind of screwed.
Blood Bowl's essentially 20% or more across the board.
Yeah, Blood Bowl got fucked. I saw that.
Let
I
me
mean,
let
this
me
goes back
survey.
to. I mean, like, listen, this goes back to. Do I feel bad about 3D printing Epic or Battlefleet Gothic? I really don't,
Yeah.
because for $100, um, I could be playing a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I'm
a lot
sitting
of other
here.
systems
I'm
you can
sitting here.
do roughly that, yeah.
Exactly, and I mean, I'm sitting here building bloodletters, of course, but the bloodletters are all secondhand from people who didn't want them.
Yeah.
So I got a billion bloodletters for super cheap. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and of course, knowing me, as the joke always will stand, anytime I buy an army, it's going to become overpowered. So now that I'm doing bloodletters, God knows that Khorne is going to come around and be like the most powerful thing in the entire goddamn game.
Well, yeah, they got Kabanda.
Oh my god! No, you don't understand. So Steve,
Just
every time
wait
I've
till
started
his
an army,
rules drop.
yeah, every time I started a fucking army, every time, and this is without a doubt, it has gotten super powered rules. The only time this has not happened was Beast of Chaos, and it's only because I sold my Beast of Chaos before the White Dwarf update came. It goes without a doubt that any army I buy eventually becomes overpowered, and I don't know why this happens, but whatever.
Because you buy them some amount of time before GW puts out the new book. Because when GW is going to put out the new book, they're going to get good. Whatever it is, that's just sort of the
Yeah,
general trend. The new book comes out, the thing is good.
and then I get accused of net listing, and I'm just sitting there like, but I had this army for years. Oh man,
Highest percentage. Percentage is not a good way to necessarily mark this, but higher percentages are in the near 40%.
oof.
So like
Which
Cads and
one got
snipers,
40?
like a lot of stuff's going from 18 to like 25. Not a huge amount, but it's sort of that price. It's not. So when you hear 30% or something like that, it's
Yeah,
bad
but
for
still
those.
18 to 25. That's still a big jump. That's still
It
freaking.
That's
is. Oh,
seven
percentage wise, there's a huge
dollars
dump.
for two models
Yes.
increase because that's like a two-model box, right?
Yes. Yes, it
So
is.
each model went up $3.50. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's significant.
Yeah. When you hear, oh, it's
that's ridiculous.
30 some percent, it sounds bad. When you look at the individual, yeah, it's not nearly as much as certain other things, but the percentage wise, what you're now paying for those little bits, yeah, it got a lot higher.
Yeah, all the blisters got hit hard, like really hard.
Yes.
Which is
Yes,
weird
they did.
because the blisters are the ones that people usually traffic the most.
Yeah.
They're usually the ones who everyone buys secondhand.
Yeah.
That's the weird part about it.
Yeah. Most Blood Bowls,
Whatever.
25% actually taking a look at it, just scrolling through. I picked out particular little things I remember going through, just looking for certain stuff. I said the average is probably between 5 to 10%, and there's a few items that didn't go up. They didn't put their paints up, which is good because they're going to start outclassing people. The books all went up by 5.
That
Does
actually
do
sucks too because
The
I do
books are
like the
already
books.
horrible value.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, the books are already bad.
What I'm now, I know the answer to this. I want to see what they do, but I already know the answer to this. So they said the books went up because printing went up. Okay, printing went up. Then the digital better not go up. But I'm sure they are.
Ha!
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the digital didn't go up last time I checked. But
Did
if
it
it
not?
does, not that I saw.
I'll be very happy if it
So
doesn't. I'll be
here's
surprised, but
the
I'll be
deal.
very, very happy if it doesn't.
They don't want to lose physical book sales to digital books.
Yeah.
So they're going to raise the digital as well. Because
Oh, I'm
digital
so.
was always the
Ugh,
same as physical until
that's
recently, I believe.
Yeah.
that's
Right?
so fucking pissy. That takes a piss, man. That
Yeah.
really does.
I mean, none of this, if you look through it, none of it's going to change your mind of doing the hobby or playing the game or anything like that. I don't think
No,
that any of that's true. A difference of some percentages isn't going to change my mind. I think it does start making it where, you know, maybe
I can't get new people in.
yeah. Well, getting new
yeah,
people, and
no,
I think is a problem.
no.
Or you have
One
to
of the
describe it to them in a way where it's you're not going to start an army. What you're going to start is you're going to buy a box, and
yeah.
then when those are done and painted and ready, okay, it's been a couple weeks or a month. Now you get the next one and the next one, and it'll be a while before you're ready.
I
And
mean,
it's no
let's be
longer
honest.
that impulse. Hey, I'm going to get all this stuff, and I'm going to be starting this faction. If you're buying it firsthand.
And it sucks because I did want to start like I know my friend Brett started a Warhammer 40,000 club or a gaming club in his school, and it went really well.
Yeah.
But he's also in a more affluent district. I can't start that in
No, you
Elizabeth.
cannot.
What do I tell the parents? Oh, here's a, your kid's addicted to this game now, but here's a $50 box for 10 months. Get the fuck out of here. They'd rather spend $50 on a video game.
Yeah.
It's just it to me. It sucks because it gets harder to introduce people, and then you're screwing the people who actually enjoy the hobby.
Yes. Because let's face it, prices never go down. If shipping in one day gets much more settled and there's not those sort of concerns, we're not going to be losing any of these prices. No company ever lowers their
No,
prices.
you never lose
No, no,
prices.
no
Those like
company
three
does.
items that
Really,
went down are the first time I've ever seen Games
that
Workshop
is true.
lower a price. And the sale on the Aeronautica boxes, what was it, like 6 months ago, was
Yeah,
the first time I've seen a sale in 15 years with Games Workshop.
yeah,
Whatever.
It's never going back.
no, no, and nothing does,
And they're
and
gonna
it's
and
shitty,
next
but it
time
won't.
inflation like goes anywhere, next time the United States dollar goes up in value or down in value or any direction compared to the pound, they'll raise prices again.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
uh,
just what they do. If the pound gets stronger, they raise prices to make up for it. If the pound gets weaker, they raise prices to make up for it. Like they only ever ratchet prices up.
honestly, I think you will see a bubble at some point. And I think that
I
bubble
agree.
is when you looked at the financials of the most recent year. Yeah, they made more money than last year, but model sales were further down. Model sales
Mm-hmm.
actually lost ground. And I think
Yep.
this year, if they see the same and that trend continues, they're going to have to do something because people are just going to get it secondhand or print it or just play other games or figure something out. And I think when it starts actually lowering the amount of money they make, that's when they're going to have to answer to the shareholders and why is
Yep.
what should have at one point been the lion's share of your business now suddenly losing
I
us
mean,
more money.
we talked about this with Infinity. You look at a game like
Mm-hmm.
Infinity that requires less models,
Mm-hmm.
right? The army builder is free online. They
Yep.
just released what are they just released new models. Damn it, I forgot what the new models were, but I don't have to buy a book. It's
Yep.
literally updated on the army builder. I just have to type in the damn name and it's there.
Yeah.
No book to buy, nothing. The rules are right there, ready to go.
Yeah.
Um,
That alone I think would help help out honestly so much if they just did that. Just put the rules up.
but I think they opened Pandora's box, Dave. People are already paying, like myself. I play for Warhammer Plus, mostly for the video content because
Of
that new
course.
Tau show, honestly, that I support. That new Tau show that video was good. Um, but Steve and I also discussed about like how they already have all the shows ready and they just kind of stagger the release, which is kind of annoying. But
You
that
have to
like
though. Cuz otherwise people will
yeah,
stream it all in a
exactly.
weekend and then you got nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, the app, right, that I use is still broken. The
Yeah.
40K app, the Sigmar app is fine, believe it or not. I don't know
That's
whoever
yeah,
does the Sigmar
Sigmar
app,
app is great honestly. I think it works very very
great,
well.
love it. But the 40K app is 1000% broken. And I think I was even showing you one day, the price went up when you add him as a cord, even though it's free, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you were there. Yeah, it's so sad. It really is. Whatever.
I do think there will be a change. I think just because they're going to start losing money on it, it's going to start going down to a point and it's going to look really bad. I'm not saying
Yep.
it's going to necessarily make things cheaper, but I think it might maybe stop the increases or who knows. But it will become a
And the
problem, I
shareholders
think.
will be mad.
Yeah. I mean, it has to. Because, when I'm looking
There's
at some of
literally
the
no
stuff
other
I'm
direction.
doing, yeah, I'm going to be looking at seeing if I can get it from other people.
Yeah, that's what
Or,
again, I started a corn
mhm,
army literally on the backs of other people.
yeah.
Sorry.
Or you go to
Sorry, not
places that give
sorry.
a percentage off. Because there's a lot of
Yep,
stores who
exactly.
know that their players are only going to get it if they give them the 10 to 20% off.
20% off. Yep.
Talk to your local stores. See if they do those sort of discounts.
Most
You
stores do
shop where you want to
actually.
play, and shop where it's going to give
Minimum
you a good deal.
advertised pricing policy is 15% off.
Advertise, I should say.
Yeah,
There's your
Correct.
key word there for people listening.
yeah. Well, for the longest time, they didn't even let you
Um,
advertise it. That's why it wasn't ever listed anywhere.
yeah. I mean, there is good news though. Besides all this, I mean, not to move
Yeah.
on, but there is good news, and that's Eldar. For the first, so Eldar haven't been strong since. Oh
Fourth,
God,
maybe.
when was Wave Servant Span? Was that fifth edition?
Oh wait, no, seventh edition. Ugh.
No, oh,
Ah.
because they blew their mortal wound shield. Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot about that. No, but
Yeah.
like,
Sixth
okay,
and
that was
seventh,
the one trick
Haldar.
pony, and they
Ugh.
still didn't really win tournament. When was the last time that Eldar was like, oh fuck, it's Eldar on the table?
Pure Eldar, the Wave
Yeah,
Serpents, which was seventh edition, I think.
I don't think it was. I want to
Right?
say it was like
They,
fifth or
they,
sixth, maybe.
yeah, they had, I think in around the time of fifth into sixth, they had some Wave Serpent spam stuff. In seventh, they might have as well. I honestly just wasn't following the game at that point.
But
But
the point I'm making is, a lot of Eldari info has come out. This is besides the leaks, of course, that we've been seeing for weeks and
yeah,
weeks and weeks. And the one dude who released like an advent calendar of Eldari leaks, which all have turned out correct, by the way. So whoever this dude
yes,
is, he
he
did
knows his
Custodes
stuff.
leaks, he did Gene Seal leaks, and he did the Elder leaks. He's now doing Tyranid leaks.
Yeah,
So
I keep an eye on
he's
that
three
stuff.
for three right now. So four for he does toss in some wrong information, but it's kind of obvious what the information is.
Yeah,
Like, I think one of the Swarm Lord has 24 attacks. You're like, oh, okay.
so you just gotta
Um,
keep you on your
That
toes.
sounds reasonable to me.
yeah, sounds
Sounds good
reasonable to
to
me.
me.
Yeah.
Um,
So you
why don't
go
we why
ahead.
don't we
Go,
start with the
yeah.
Avatar because he's the first one I got pulled up
Yes.
here.
Oh, yes. Oh.
We can actually just go in the
Um.
order we have in the notes.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm a
That
big
is
fan
pretty
of the
cool.
Avatar. First of all, I love the model. The Forge World model was
Forge model's
amazing.
good.
I did
Yeah,
not like the old. I did not like the old GW model for the Avatar,
of
and
course
now the
not.
new model looks.
The old model was a tiny
I
piece of
and
shit, like most old models.
Yes, it was. It was. No, I'm not gonna. Yeah, the Forge World model was great, and the new model looks amazing. And I play a Wraith army. I play a Yandin, so Avatar really doesn't fit with a Yandin. But I might just get him as a because like he's just awesome.
Keep priority.
Yeah,
I might just get him.
What's your favorite
Um,
head?
oh man, okay, it's classic or it's the I call it the Illidan head from World of Warcraft.
yeah.
Um, but it's either the classic or the Illidan. I'm gonna say the classic. I don't like the Spartan one. I know a lot of
No,
people
I
like the
do not
Spartan.
like
I
the
don't
Spartan
like the
one.
Spartan one.
No.
It's
Um,
either the helmetless or the class. But the axe, hands down, will be arming it with an axe.
yeah.
1,000% will be arming it with an axe.
So I mean, this. So I have his stats pulled up here. This boy definitely just got better all along the way.
You know, he just got better.
Yeah, main move went up by 3 inches. So the assumption, at least off of this, not looking at leaks, to me, anything in red on this are the things that change as they start degrading. Got a lot more wounds, so he got 6 more wounds,
Correct.
2 more attacks, an extra leadership. His save went to a 2 up. He has his invul save, extra strength, 2 extra in the toughness. So he's a walking juggernaut.
He also halves all damage coming in. He has a
Yes,
4+ save. He is literally the walking god of death, and I'm all
yes,
for it. Not even mad. He's always been a cool model. And in lore, I want to
mm,
point out they do him fucking dirty sometimes because in lore he's
yeah,
either a god upon the battlefield, and there's one scene where they not hot drop him, but he gets summoned and the ship blows up. He gets summoned in the ship blows up. This motherfucker hot drops from orbit on top of a Titan and cleaves it. Like that's god of like that's Rage of Cain kind of nonsense. And then other times he's burnt to death by whatchamacallit. He's burnt to death by bolters.
yeah,
So you get some, you lose some. But honestly, like I'm really happy with him.
yeah,
He looks not even mad. Would not be mad if he killed Custodes. He's supposed to be the god of death.
yeah.
Literally the god of
His
death
weapon
in
got a nice
lore.
upgrade. Melee, so he can either double strength, AP -5, D6 +2, and I like when they start adding in fixed values. He shouldn't be hitting for 1 damage, D6 +2. At least you're hitting for 3. You're getting good numbers out. So you're
Yeah,
sitting at strength 14.
agree.
You're wounding, almost anything you want. At worst case of 3, but most stuff you're going to be swinging out 2s. Or you can sweep. So instead, he's swinging 14 attacks. AP -2, 2 damage. So even cutting through Marines.
Even I should point out even Death Guard, because remember Death Guard do -1 damage,
Yes.
but that's still AP -2, so that's a 5 up. So wait, how many attacks is it? 14.
He would have
Hitting on
14 if he
twos.
was doing the two
So
with
hitting
the
on
sweep.
twos, so that's 12 hits. Wounding on threes, so that's 7 wounds. That's still 2.5 Marines dead. 3 Marines dead with the damage -1 out of a squad of 5. That's
Yes.
really good.
And that's assuming you don't have any rerolls or any other sort of buffs. And let's face it, they're Eldar. They're
True.
going to. We have, at least now, maybe in some of the stuff they've spoiled or that you've seen, some of their psychic powers. But I guarantee you there's going to be powers that are going to help them out, or powers that are going to cause you to be able to reroll everything, or who knows what.
Those actually got leaked.
Oh,
I
okay.
won't talk about them, but
Yeah.
for legal reasons. But yeah,
Yeah,
those got leaked. And
there's nothing wrong with talking about leaks. That's absolutely fine.
good.
I'm not
Talk
going to
about
throw them up there,
No,
but we can talk about them.
the leaks are very good. They got rid of one that I actually hated using, but it was the most powerful, which is Hex, not Hex. I know it's called Death Hex by Chaos. What's it called? Not Jinx. Yeah, it was Jinx, where you remove the invulnerable save of someone.
Yes.
Now it's just you subtract 1 from their armor and invulnerable.
You subtract 1 from their invulnerable?
Yes.
Wow. All right.
No, before it was remove all invulnerable.
Yeah.
So that was even bigger out, but you still subtract 1 is
That's
very
something.
big.
Absolutely.
They can move again with their psychic powers. They can get extra attacks with their psychic powers. Now, I'm speaking specifically about spirit abilities, only because I play wraiths, so I use spirit hosts, which use their spells. But yeah, their spells just got overall better, and they're also easier to use too. Most of their spells now cast on 5 and 6.
That's really good. Why they don't need 5s and 6s for what they have?
Yeah, and they get bonuses to casting too, so it's even like they're getting their spells off unless you deny them.
All right, so we got him. He's a big boy on the block. What is the next one? Was Guardians. So they revealed it because they've been just showing just aspect after aspect, which has been nice. When we take a look at them,
I don't run Guardian, so this has no. I don't think I even read this, to be quite honest.
look at you. You're like,
look at it.
not exactly my thing, so I'm not going to bother looking at it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ever buy them.
You don't have to buy them, but when you're on a podcast, the goal is to talk about them. You want to take a look at them a bit. So I'll go through some of their changes then. One, their save got better. So, and that's honestly the only change from their base stat line. They have better that, and their weapons ended up getting a bit better.
Yeah,
I think those are.
that serpent shield looks really good too. Each time a range, they have mini transhuman. Any unmodified rules of 1 or 2 for the attack fails.
Yes. Yeah, their catapult.
Not bad.
The catapult got an AP before it did not. And it still has a shuriken rule. I don't. They might have shown that. I haven't seen it. It's probably reasonably similar. Yeah, and then they got the little
I'm gonna be
defensive
honest.
shield.
I'm gonna be honest. From all the other things that the aspect warriors got, like fire dragons and striking scorpions and howling banshees, I'm sorry. These guys just look. I don't know why I'd ever take these guys. I would just take something else.
Because they're troops.
But striking scorpions are troops with Karandras.
So if you're wanting to take your Phoenix Lords, yes. If you're not taking your
exactly.
Phoenix Lords, then they're not.
Oh, true. I mean, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
But I'm looking at
that's
this, I'm
really
like,
that's one of the big things. And also, this I said that depending on what you do, sometimes the units could be a little bit cheaper. Some of the other ones are a little bit more. Depends on the goal that you want. So these guys sit somewhere with a 5-up invul. They sit on an objective, maybe not the middle, but one of the other objectives a little further up.
That's actually what I
Sit
do
there
with my
and
sisters.
fire away.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can
And
absolutely do
the
that.
fact that we have a 5-up invul makes them actually stronger than my sisters.
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
probably going to be the same cost.
From what I've seen, it seems like this whole army is essentially 5-up invuls. Well, all their aspects are, or at least so far what they've shown. I think every aspect armor gives you a 5-up invul.
And thus the war of invuls continues.
Well, when you have this sort of escalation of damage, which is what we see now, the standard damage types seem to be 2 or 3 and all. Then okay, well here's the way you save against it. Now, these guys, that doesn't
And then
really
what's
matter
funny
because they're
is
only
now
one
you have an
wound.
escalation of ignoring invuls too, which is hilarious.
I haven't seen that as much. There very well might be, but I haven't seen
Tau,
that as much.
Eldar do ignore invuls with some of their stuff.
Yeah. Tau do on what? One gun, and I
There's a
do they have
Hammerhead.
stratagem?
and
Yeah. So gun and
there's
a
a stratagem
stratagem.
and there's 2 or 3 guns that do it.
Yeah. They have those as well. So they talk about what Guardians or Stormblades, so they have a little bit there for rerolls. Which is good. I mean, like I said, they're your troop.
Yeah,
And they upgraded the platform, which is nice because their platform
yeah.
not so
That's what I was
great.
talking about before. The mini transhuman, where you can't be wounded on a 1 or a 2.
Yeah. That's going to make them good objective holders. It's a nice, cheap little objective
Yeah,
holder.
I agree.
So
Let
from
me
there,
see here.
it goes
Tech
to
warriors are pretty
aspect.
cool.
So this, like I said, for all the different aspects they brought out, it's an aspect armor. So they just automatically have a 5-up invul now,
Yeah,
which
which is
you're going to
super
want
powerful.
aspect warriors. So
Yeah, that's super powerful.
yes,
It automatically makes them like. And I know John's a long time Eldar player.
yes, he is.
Freaking has models older than I do, than I am. Sorry.
Yes, he does.
And he was like, that was one of the big changes. He was like guessing. And he goes, just give them a 5-up invul or even a 6-up invul, and that automatically makes them just all that more tougher to kill.
Yeah,
But the weapons are great too.
yeah.
Like going in order. Let's see where
Avenger and Dire Avengers are troops as well. Oh, sorry, we already
Assault.
Assault
Yeah,
3.
Assault 3 though. Assault 3 is AP -2. So here, Bane of Custodies right now.
Hmm.
People are always like, oh, Bane of Custodies, just toss las cannons at them. No, that's not what you
No.
do. Bane of Custodies are high AP, high shot, damage 1,
Yeah.
right? So like Vulcan Mega Bolters that have 12 shots, strength 6, AP -3, 2 damage, right? Because I'm going to be taking most likely 10 saves at my 4-up
Yes.
versus my 1 save at a 4-up
4-up.
with a las cannon.
Yeah.
So
If someone's going to shrug off half of what you do, you want to do more of it at a lower damage profile. That's absolutely
yes,
better.
with a high AP, that's the big thing with a high. And AP -2 is absolutely a high AP.
Yeah. The -2 is what you need. If you get to -2, even if you
Yeah,
only get to a -1 on a 3-up, I'd rather that on a multitude of dice than one shot on a 50/50.
exactly. So this automatically already is a pretty good gun, but
So
these
their
guys,
their catapult
okay.
got an extra shot. They're assault 3 instead of assault 2. The AP is new because before they're AP 0, so we're seeing an increase of AP across the board
Also, I think
with
the
the
range
damage
is
1.
farther.
Nah,
Range
18
is
inch. It
farther,
was
right?
18 inches before.
Oh, it was 18. I thought it was
Yep.
12. Okay.
Yeah, I have it pulled up. Yeah, it was 18 before.
Okay. Good.
So
Fire
dragons. I
dragons.
know fire
Oh my
dragons
God.
went up in a toughness. I know they say
Yes,
that,
toughness 4, which
which is big.
automatic. Oh, Rosie. Hello, Rosie. No. So toughness 4 already ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then
Trying to pull up
where's
their
oh, there we
weapon
are.
to see
I
exactly
have
the
right here assault
difference.
1. Well, I know what their old weapon is. It sucks.
Mhm.
12 inches though. Assault 1,
Yep.
strength 9,
Yep. So it's
AP
up a
4.
strength.
Yep.
Same AP.
D6 plus 2
And it's
damage.
got +2 or it's just a D6.
Yep. And I don't think they had this before. Reroll wound rolls of 1 on a vehicle or monster.
They did, yes. They did have a
Oh,
sure
okay, they did?
destruction.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, the D6 plus 2 and strength 9. Mwah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Like that's most monsters in the game, most heavy tanks in the game are toughness 8. I don't think there's any. Is there a toughness 9?
There's probably
I know.
something, but it's
Yeah,
very
Forge
unstandard.
World, the Cerberus.
Yeah.
Is he really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And do note that Tyranids do have the strat for the Maleceptor to decrease strength of incoming shooting by 1.
Yeah.
Oh, so this
And they
is
have a
really helpful.
number
Then.
of and they have a number of toughness 8 monsters. So that's a
Yeah, so this
nice
is
buff.
super
It
helpful.
means at
Yeah.
least you're still wounding on 4s instead of
Instead of 5s. No,
5.
that's really good. That's really good. Let me see here.
They go.
Warp spiders. Oh man, or not warp spiders. Yeah, warp spiders.
Yeah, warp spiders.
The set, I love them. No one takes them. I love them.
Because they weren't
I-
so good. At one point, they were very good. There was a point when they were very, very good. But they didn't stay
Yeah.
there for very long. And
Well,
now
because they
it's
were really good
just
because of
yeah.
they had the ability to, and this I do remember. I think this was fifth edition. I'm telling you, where they had the ability if you target them with a shot, you can pick them up and deep strike them somewhere else,
I'm pretty
which made them accept
I think that was sixth because I played
six. Okay,
fifth
yeah.
and I kind of stopped playing in sixth, and I don't think that was the thing when I was playing, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, no. So that was one of their special abilities. So that's why I'm like, oh yeah, no, no, Rosie, please, Rosie. My cat is like, please give me attention. Oh my god.
But you
But
can,
yeah, no, that was their big. That's why they were so powerful. You can literally pick them up and just move
yeah,
them, which was.
and their weapon. I mean,
Talk.
again, it's a gain of AP. They had none. Now it's AP 2. Still 1 damage, but AP 2 is good. Strength 6 stay the same, but now it's assault D6. So 5 out of 6 times it's no worse, and 4 out of 6. So 2/3 of the time you are getting more shots. Like yeah, there's a
Yeah.
chance you roll a bunch of ones, but in general you're just
Although
gonna be
I
doing
was
a
gonna
lot
say,
better.
on average, if you're rolling a squad
Average
of
would be
five,
between 3 to 4. If you're rolling a
yeah,
squad of, if you have a squad of 5, your average in that case, you're looking at about 17 and a half or so shots.
which is a gain of 10 or a gain of 7,
Yeah.
which is insane. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you could spike a little bit one way or the other, but you
Yeah,
spike
exactly.
up,
But
you're
the
going to do a whole lot.
average is still higher.
Yeah.
It pushes the average higher if I'm doing
Absolutely.
my math correctly.
Yeah.
Um.
And
Oh,
they
oh,
mentioned about
oh!
Howling Banshees.
You did men. I'm not sure if this is. Can you check the weapon? Is it blast in the old rules?
Let me take a look. They don't have it there, so my guess is no.
Okay,
It
so this
must
is
not
big.
have been, but
I
I'll check
didn't
it real
notice this at
fast.
first. And I remember looking at this many weeks ago, and they were like, "Oh shit, yeah, it's blast."
No, it was
Meaning,
not
if they're
blast
targeting this,
in
so
the
yeah,
past.
so if this is targeting a squad of 5 or more people, that D6 now becomes D6 min 3. And if they're targeting a squad of 10 or more people,
Hmm.
that's 6 shots per.
Okay. I forgot. Yeah, that's what
That's
blast does. So
yeah,
you go against bigger targets. That's what they're good
yeah.
at.
Strength
And
6 AP 2 will absolutely wipe that. Oh, the big thing with Tyranid is well, now they do Thick City.
they
But
do
one of the big things that they used to do
crush the
was,
beat.
the 30-man Devourer squad with,
Yeah.
I think it was quadruple firing Devourers, right? And
Hmm.
AP -2, that nonsense. Um, just point this in that general direction and they're gone.
Well, so if you're damage one weapon, but when you think about a larger squad is going to tend to be your 1 wound, maybe 2 wound style models. You're not going to have,
Exactly.
15 models at multiple wounds. So that's exactly who you want to hit it against. Because I'm
Yeah.
going to get 6 attacks on each. I'm going to get 30 attacks. We're going to put all kinds of psychic powers in. So I'm re-rolling probably tons of stuff, wounding you well. AP -2. If you're a giant horde, you're not going to have great armor, and you're probably going to be 1 wound each. So I'm going to start wiping the floor with you.
Yep.
I got to get there first because I get within 12. But if I can get there, horrible, horrible things are going to happen to you. So the aspects I like. I think they look good.
Yeah, I agree. Also, remember they have battle focus as well, which
Yes.
lets them move after shit. So yeah, no, I agree that this was a cool preview in my opinion.
Yeah. They did so many. So they got Prince Uriel. I
Oh,
didn't actually
this
look
one.
through him. I don't know much of him,
So
honestly.
this one I will talk about
Okay, good. I
because
don't know
I
much of this
did
guy.
not
He looks
know
cool.
this, and I had to be educated in fluff.
Okay.
So I play Wraith,
Yeah.
right? I play Wraiths.
I
So
know a
the
bit of his fluff. Yeah. Uriel.
Uriel preview was like, oh, who gives a shit? I don't care. He's Corsairs, but he's a Yandin,
Yes.
meaning he is part of the Wraiths, right?
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, he wasn't that great. So let's talk about his new. So first of all, 6 inches, reroll hits rolls of 1. So he's got his normal command ability. And a
Yeah.
Yandin core, fun fact, Wraiths are a Yandin core. I'll get to that and why this is important in a minute. It says Wraith Guard. But yeah, no. So Wraith Guard are core, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get to that in a moment, why that's important. So, he can also put people in reserve. Now, normally when you put people in reserve, you have to use the power rating, right?
Yes.
When you put someone in reserve, you have that power rating. So essentially, you can put more people in reserve than you're normally allowed, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
especially when we talk about wraiths, which I keep bringing up. I swear I'll get to it. Spear of Twilight, it's a super powerful weapon. I mean, the
Well,
AP
it is
minus three,
literally
3
killing him.
damage.
So
Yeah, the point is, he's got a stronger power weapon than Trajan. Um, but the reason he's so important, why I'm talking about him, and this was some of the leaks as well. If you take a Yandon, so Wraiths, which did also have a preview. I'll just no, I won't skip to it. But Wraiths essentially will get buffed by him because Wraiths have a flamer, which I don't think was released, but this is a leak. The flamer for Wraiths used to be D6 shots, 8 inches. I shit you not, 8 inches. Right? So you couldn't even deep strike and shoot the flamers. D6 shot, 8 inches. Yeah, I know. Strength 10, AP minus 4, 1 damage, right? So
okay,
it's super powerful shot, but you literally could. So it moved up to 12 inches, still strength 10, D6 shots, blast, AP minus 4, 1 damage. You have to hit with it though, right?
okay.
Now, race normally hit on threes. Okay. And they normally don't have access to rerolls. You stick him near that. Now you have 5d6 shots hitting on threes, rerolling ones. That's strength 10, AP minus 4, 1 damage coming out of Deep Strike,
Or coming out of your
which
fancy
is.
webway, which we'll get to.
Or, oh, yes, we'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah.
We haven't even Actually, this is funny, and I hope he listens to this recording. As I'm fucking speaking, I swear to God, Dave, Luke
Yeah.
texts me and he goes, "Hey, yo, so do you have a webway available?"
Webways have no joke to this. Webways have been sold out for about a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
you can't
I'm
get a
not sure
webway
I should
portal.
tell him that I do. I have one. I actually have one.
I'm not surprised.
I
No,
bought one.
don't tell him
And
you have it.
I bought it for terrain purposes.
Tell him you don't have
But
it,
yeah, no. So
and then we're gonna see if he listens, because
his
then he'll be like, you said that you didn't have one, and you talked about the
exactly.
podcast that you do.
Um,
It's a test.
no. So yeah, his ability to buff specifically my army too. That's just the weird part. Is just immeasurable. So it sucks that I have to pick him up because he's not fluffy for me. But I might just have to pick him up to make them more powerful.
You know,
Honestly, at this
you're allowed to
point.
play lists for fun, just so you know.
When it comes to Warhammer 40,000, this was 30,000 or something. I'd agree,
You can
but
still play this for fun. You just you talk to your opponent ahead of time, like you do in 30K.
yeah, true.
That's
Okay,
all.
so that's Prince Earl.
All right. So it goes the Howling Banshees. Man, they've just been. I get
Oh
Elder are
my
a big
God,
thing.
no.
I think they're popular. You
Okay, so no,
know,
they got changed and they got
it
changed
took a while.
completely. I should point out. Um,
Yes, yes,
they
they did.
they completely so their Howling Mask is now completely different.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, you get rid of defensible terrain, which is really good. They can't. First of all, they can't. So defensible terrain, for those who don't know, allows you to Overwatch on a 5-up, which is
Hmm.
amazing. Um,
Well, they can't even
so you can't Overwatch,
Overwatch
you can't
or
set to
set to
defend.
defend. You can't even just do either one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you strike last,
Yep, they give you strike last. So you're gonna walk out of
which
that
is
webway, and you're gonna give
wow.
whoever you walk into strike last.
Oh my God, that's just fucking nuts. They also so you can't hit them well, so you can only hit them on one less, which doesn't really matter for custodies, but like for some other things that hit on threes, now you're hitting on fours, which is and now your wound when you charge, you get add 1 to the attack roll. Like, yeah, no, it's just
Yeah, the attack wound roll. Yeah,
overall an
everybody.
excellent unit. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
at least
they got changed completely, and it's all for yeah.
it mentions in there that their Banshee blades bring their attacks up to strength 4.
Which, oh yeah, that's right, because they were strength 3. Oh my lord, have mercy.
Yes.
Oh, they've been so bad
Yeah,
for
so
so
yeah,
long.
their weapons will put them to strength 4. So on the turn they charge, now they're wounding, your average model now on threes instead of fours or potentially fives. I mean, they were always good units, but mostly toughness 3, sort of strength 3. So they did their job well, but they weren't necessarily very survivable. They definitely feel like they've upped a lot of survivability here.
Oh yeah.
And all of that goes to being able to come lovely out of I don't think I pulled up the portal. We can talk about the portal. I didn't pull it
No,
up.
I got the point. Yeah, you if you want to talk about it, you can.
I know you can talk
Pause
about the
for.
portal. I'll pull it up here.
So the portal. Oh, So first of all, as Dave just told me right now, by the way, it's been sold out for how many?
About a year.
About a year. Yeah, I actually have a webway portal. Ironically, I don't know why I have one. I think it was just to build. When I was building my rates, I wanted something cool, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's a fortification, which normally fortifications are,
Okay.
destructible, which is great. Except now they're immune to harm.
Yep, it's
Okay,
indestructible.
it's indestructible. Okay, that's cool. They also provide light cover, heavy cover. Unstable position means you just can't put someone on top of there, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, they add one to the leadership. Again, who gives a shit? This is all pretty cool. So it's light cover. You deploy light cover. Okay,
Two
webway
sides
strike.
set up within 3 of each other and all that.
Yes,
Yeah.
which essentially now means that you can now basically, I'll just read it. Each time an
Yeah, always read
auxiliary
it.
unit from Army arrives from strategic reserves, you can set it anywhere on the battlefield that is wholly within 6 inches of both the Wraithbone arches. Both, by the
Yeah.
way, of a friendly web brigade unit. If so, you can set up within 9 inches of enemy models and be set up with an engagement range of enemy models.
Yeah. You
And
can
this does
charge out.
not. Yes, this is. Oh my god. I don't even know what to say about this.
And in the rules it specifically says, essentially you can be set up an engagement range. You're going to count as charging, and they can't overwatch you. Now they can't overwatch you because it's the movement phase, but essentially you can charge out and can't respond.
Yes. Also, because it's worded the same fucking way that the Custodes one is, um, this is not a heroic intervention.
No, it's not.
So they cannot heroically intervene you, meaning that if they, well, I mean, this is done in your phase anyway, but
Yeah.
they cannot heroically intervene into you. This is insane.
No.
This is
I'm
miraculously insane.
well, yes and no. I think it can now. The webway has to be set up with, is it within 12 of yours, outside, more than 12 away from the enemy deployment zone or any other models? Okay.
Okay.
So you're a little bit short of half the board.
Okay.
This is great at sitting on an objective and guaranteeing that you will get the objective. Because
Well, here's the thing:
if
you
you
place
have
it
a
in the
unit
middle
in
of the
reserve,
board.
you can get it anytime you wish, essentially.
So here's the thing: because I own it, and also someone did the math on Reddit.
Yeah.
This is why it's insane, Dave.
Yeah.
The webway, if you place it in the dead center of the board,
Mm-hmm.
exactly in range of each other, right?
Yeah.
Although some people have been fucking around and overlapping the webway to gain more range, but just ignore that for a second. We're not going to play stupid.
Okay.
Um, like they line up in a straight line, right?
Yeah.
Some people have been fucking around. Like people are going to people.
Of course.
Um, the overall range you can get on this is 18 inches.
What do you
Or sorry,
mean?
12. So essentially, because you place it directly in the board, center of the board, right?
Oh, you mean like how
You
far
have
up you
a
can be on the board?
yes,
Okay.
meaning the way objectives are placed in every single mission,
Hmm.
no matter what center objective you're holding, I will be able to get a 6 inch charge or a 0 inch charge. If you're in the middle, I will be able to get a 6 inch charge off on you.
Oh, yes. Oh, no. I think this is very strong for the fact that you can set this up somewhere and you can guarantee that at the moment you want, you can contest, take, or at least fight me off of an objective. The fact that you have to get within 6 of both, I think, does at least limit where you can go. Like, if you put that thing in the middle, okay, I know
That's why
you can do
some
that.
people are, yeah, some
Yeah.
people are saying, oh, does it have to be deployed? Like, see how it's deployed in the picture?
Yes.
Where it's like two. Some people are like, does it have to be deployed like that? And what they're doing is they're overlapping it by 2 inch. Well, basically they're placing one behind the other essentially,
Okay.
so that you lose a certain amount of range, but you get more set range. I don't know how to explain it. I'll probably send you the
Yeah.
article.
No, so you get to make more of a circle rather than ellipse. Um,
Exactly.
that's really what they're trying to do. Um,
But again, that's stupid and also power gamey. And please stop trying to break the game.
I agree.
Please.
I'm not I'm not overly worried about the web portal. I think it's good. I think you're going to know what they have in reserves. I don't know. Have they leaked? Do they have a way to take models other than probably
Yes, they do. You can
take them off the
you
board
can
and put
spell
them into
stratagem.
reserves?
Yep, put them in reserves. And
Okay,
warp
that's smart.
spiders very specifically can just do that native for a stratagem point. They just deep strike into a webway.
Yeah, that I'm not surprised by. Like, I think there's some concern there, but to me, okay, you sat there. That's your objective. If
The
I don't think I
reason,
can handle what could come out of there, then I just have to go after everything else. You
and the
know?
big problem. So here's the thing: like I play Praetorian Plate Shield Captain from Custodes, right?
Yeah.
And everyone knows what he does. Everyone can see how much of a pain in the ass he is. Now take that and multiply it by an entire goddamn like aspect warrior squad. You know what I mean? And that's where people are like, "Oh shit!"
Well, but
You
here's
know,
the
this
thing.
this.
Even with that though, I know where you're going because you don't have board control. You can't go anywhere you want. You're coming out of there. So my options are I'm going to put someone there who can deal with it. I'm going to put someone there at a position where I am safe, or I'm going to avoid you. And sooner or later, you're going to have to come out because what? It's turn 3. Your reserves have to be out by.
Yes.
So
Unless
I'm
they enter reserves, yeah.
yeah.
If they
So
start on and then go off, they could come on turn 5 if they want.
okay. So
No, no, no. They can't.
Mm-hmm.
I think they fact. No, not that I know of.
Do they add a fact? Because it was always
they redid the facts
if
at
it
one point.
starts on the table, then it's good. But if it doesn't enter the table at some
Oh, I
capacity
guess
by
because
turn 3, it's
Mechanicum can
dead.
do that. Yeah, no, okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Never mind. I'm
All
an
right.
idiot.
I mean,
Yeah, because then like all the strats that put you back in reserve are useless after turn
Exactly.
2.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, is it concerning? Yes. Is it probably the most worrying thing? No. If that's where they
No,
want to be, they
no, it's
set up
not. No, I
there.
was gonna say,
Avoid it.
yeah,
That's
this
theirs
is
then. If you
not
can't
the
deal with
most
it,
worrying
let them
thing
have
that
it.
I've seen. So this is definitely not the most worrying thing that I've seen in
Yeah.
all of the Elder Codex. Yeah, no, not even by a long shot.
Yeah.
It's just something else to add to the power.
Yep.
Also, fun fact: um, we don't know the cost. Usually,
80
fortifications
points.
like
I want to
this,
say it was. Right. Currently is
80.
80. I
Oh,
thought
geez,
they
that's a
even said again it was something like that. I thought somewhere it was
oh lord.
shown or was leaked out maybe.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
no.
80.
Here it is. One CP. It's literally one CP to basically deep strike in out of the webway.
Okay.
Mm. So
But
the
is
avatar
that
comes
a
out.
current one or is that a leaked one that they have?
Nope. Now it's in the actually in the Warcom article.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you're right there. I see it now for 1 CP.
Yeah.
Um can come right out. Command point. Now for a paltry 1, you can crash land immensely powerful. All right. I said avoid it. If you can't handle what's going to come out of there, there's a
Yeah.
whole lot of other board.
And then I'll take the next one, I
Yeah,
guess.
the last one I think the
Now,
big things is the Wraith Knights here.
yes, and I will lump in with this since I do know the leaked information. I will lump in
Yeah.
the other Wraith units as well.
No, do so.
So, Wraith units overall now will have -1 damage,
Yep.
which is
But they're
massive.
like a dreadnought.
Remember, yes, but remember they're toughness 6, toughness 8, and then toughness 8.
Yeah.
Toughness 6 being the Wraith Guard, Wraith Blades, toughness 8 being the Wraith Lords and Wraith Knights.
Hmm.
So damage -1 is big, even for the smaller quote unquote Wraith Guard. Um, the model also has a 5-up
Hmm.
invulnerable, which is really really good native.
And,
Originally, the Wraith Knight had no invulnerable save
yep. Had to take a sky shield.
whatsoever. Yeah, unless you took a scatter shield, which then made it a 5-up. So now it's a 5-up natively.
Hmm.
Um,
Scatter shield puts it to a
it's a
4 up.
5-up natively with that becomes a 4-up.
Hmm.
Again, very amazing stuff. Its Ghostglaive now can actually deal with people. So before, what would happen is you'd have to Titanic stomp instead of using your sword. Um, which sucked. It felt bad. You want to use your sword. Now the sword has a stronger sweep. So, like, if you have a gun or a gun shield, you can still Titanic Stomp, which is great. But the sweep is actually pretty freaking powerful as well, with AP -3, 2 damage. And it's also
And
3 attack hit
and
rolls
yeah,
instead
it's
of 1.
3 per each, which is huge.
Yes, which is I think the feet are 2 per. And then let me see
They
here. What
used
else?
to
What
be
else? What else?
3 actually. The fee used to be
Oh, this
3.
used to be 3.
Yeah, but the
Okay.
AP was only a -2, and it was D3 damage instead of a flat 2, and I'd always rather have flat 2.
Yeah, exactly. The Sun Cannon got better. Both guns got better, I should point
Yes.
out. Both guns got better. So, Blast again, shocking. Again, we talk about why Blast is really good. Why you would be shooting this into a squad is beyond me, but, maybe a 5-man Terminator squad.
Hmm.
It's Blast,
Well,
heavy 2d6, strength 8, AP -3, 3 damage.
Yep.
Very
It's
good.
better. Yeah.
And yeah, and then because they didn't release it, I have the picture up here. Trying to pull it up a little bit. And Wraithlord. But yeah, no. So I will talk about the other leaks. A Yandin. They haven't leaked what a Yandin does, but I kind of can tell you. A
Okay.
Yandin also now. Give me a second. Pick of a Yandin and Wraith Lord profile. So a Yandin now can basically reduce the rend of weapons by 1, right? So if you're hitting me
Ooh.
with a rend -1 weapon, it's rend -0. If you're hitting me with rend -2, it's -1, so on and so forth, which is really, really good. Um, and then on top of it, um, there now what's really cool is we're not sure if the Ford, we're not really sure if the Forge World units are going to get an update. But that being said, the Wraith Seers, not the Wraith Lords, but the Wraith Seers, which are Wraith Lords with psychic powers, might they now can buff units with their new psychic power. Basically, Wraith units are amazing. that's that's where I'm getting
All
to.
right.
Wraith units are now absolutely amazing. Um, the axes are now damaged too, which again doesn't really that hasn't been released, but it is what we know.
What were they before? 1,
Um,
or was it like a D3?
They were damaged D3. They were damaged
Okay.
D3, and they were also -1 to hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like a power fist, essentially. Yeah, like a power fist. They were really, really bad. Now they're not. They lost the -1 to hit, and now they're just flat 2 damage. Um, just again, overall, just really good overall rules, in my opinion. Yeah, that's all. And I play a Wraith army, so
Yeah.
obviously I'm happy, but it also makes me happy. I don't know. It's like I don't want it to be overpowered, obviously, right? Because then I can't find games where people get pissy about it.
Yeah.
But by the same token, it's really good to have. Oh, here we are. Um, so the Warlord trait is feel no pain. So this is for Yandin, by the way. Feel
Yeah.
no pain. On a 5+, that wound is not lost. Um, uh, oh, I remove add 1 to the combat attrition test. Testing with this. So basically, I basically never fail leadership. Reduce rend by 1. My relic. So my relic is literally select a spirit host unit, which is a wraith guard unit, within 9. Add 1 to the attack characteristics of the model. That
Hmm.
used to be a psychic power. Actually, sorry, it is still a psychic power. So
Okay.
+2 attacks on a unit. Very nice. Also, oh shit, they gained the battle focus ability. Hello. Okay. Um, Guided wraith sight is a stratagem. Okay, so basically, I can select a unit and pretend like they're in range of the Spirit Seer, which is supposed to buff them.
All right.
So yeah, just overall amazing stuff.
I think last bit of news that we'll do
Anyway,
then, because
that
there's
that's
been
my
so
rant.
much Eldar, and they're looking good. I'm curious. I want to see when the book comes out, read through it, and see if it's all the hype that people say. People love to hype stuff up. I'm not saying they won't be, but people absolutely love to hype stuff up. So I actually want to see it first before I start believing the utter craziness.
Yeah,
And in the beginning, no matter how great they are, they're going to win a bunch anyway because people don't know what to do against them. People don't know how to play them.
exactly.
People are going to get, they're going to put something through the webway portal that you're not going to know how to deal with. They're going to throw Howling Banshees out of there or something. Give it a couple months and then we'll really know the strength. Again, they might be very strong, but so then the last bit of news we'll do is rotation. I'm surprised it took them this long.
Yes. I agree.
I mean, they kind of done it soft core for the last couple
Yes.
of years, where they
You
just
just
won't
can't
bother
get it.
restocking things. Like what was it, like 9 months of no Tyranid Hive Guard,
Yep.
like shit like that. So now it's just an official policy instead of a, oops, your army just has no models. Good luck.
Eesh.
Yeah. Honestly,
I'm
I
just
think
pleased they
it's
started
good.
with the
Their
Space
line is
Marines and
so
not
big.
something else.
Yeah. The last thing you want to go is the privateer press sort of problem you had
There's over
where you have
3,000
1,000
pilots.
SKUs plus. You know.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
Like
that
you've
was the
seen
problem
the
privateer had.
price change PDF, right? The
Yeah.
spreadsheet. Like when you print it out, it's like 37 pages.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They have it is a little bit over about 3,100 items. Now some of those are also Forge World items. There's a
That
bunch of
does
those
include
and
Forge World.
yeah,
Yeah. But
but
even
their
then, like
entire
that's
range
a
is
lot.
3,100 or so items. So yeah, retire some of these people who are just a lot of them are just really and they're also just very old models.
Yeah.
You know, these aren't
I,
current things.
I know people are very. I know some people are kind of off on this because they want to play with their old models.
But you're not
But
stopping you from playing with them.
They're not even
exactly.
going Legends.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
you can still play
Which
with
is
them.
I
You
do
again
just
know
can't
now.
another
buy
I
this
don't
benefit.
thing.
You
understand
can't buy
why they
them.
got rid of the flesh tears. I do know. Actually, I do know why they got rid of flesh tears. Because there's a 3D printer that they've been trying to knock down. Who does flesh tear shoulder pads that are better than theirs?
But
So
also,
that's
again, it's a
why.
bit older, and
Yeah.
I'm
But
sure, at
that's
least I
fifth
would think,
edition. That's not that long ago.
no. But
Stop.
for a character and things like that, that at least fifth edition, all the Blood Angel characters and all of that was at least fifth.
It
Oh
was
yeah,
fifth.
Captain
I,
Taito
I
or
was
Taiko.
there. Oh, Tycho's old as balls.
Yeah,
Tycho
He's
and
old as
Dante both
balls.
next
Yeah.
I mean, you can go through and look
They
and
like
see which
gave you
ones
a
are older,
Seth and shoulder pads and yeah.
but again, they're
Some
not
people
the
are
oldest
mad.
models
I
they
just
have,
don't
but
care.
I honestly I think it's good for it when it's all said and done because if you want to be able to get your models in a more timely fashion, they literally have to be producing less stuff. The more stuff they have available, switch out molds, all of that's going to take time. If you want Brother Cabulo, you've had at least since fifth and earlier to get him, and he's not gone forever, and you're still going to be able to find him. But if you really want him, buy him. You know,
I wish they told us how long the rotations would be.
yeah,
Like, is it a 6 month rotation, a 2 year rotation?
yeah. That's
Honestly,
the only
part of it
problem.
reads to me like they're trying to cash in on FOMO a little
Oh,
bit.
Yes.
absolutely,
Yes.
Like
I'm
we
hundred
haven't
saying,
percent.
moved these models. Quick,
wait,
buy them before they're
wait,
gone.
trying to or actually doing?
That's fair.
I
Because
I
yeah,
think there's some FOMO that's occurring, and then I think there's a lot of neckbeardy anger of how dare you not produce this model that I already have and I won't buy, or oh you're not doing this Captain Tycho
yeah,
anymore. Well, I don't have Blood Angels, like I'll never play them. I don't need him. But why aren't you producing him? You know,
exactly. Listen, sometimes there are so many things you can be legitimately mad at Games Workshop for. This is not one of them.
no, I
We
do.
literally spent 30 minutes on price increases for
Yeah,
Christ's sake.
I do agree
Stop being
though.
angry at this.
They should give some sort of indication of what this rotation timeline is. That would assuage so many fears. If they told you, hey, these guys will be back next year and they'll be back in a year and you'll have a month to buy them or something, I think then you get a lot less complaints. I think a lot of people are saying, like, it's the same sort of concern when they started doing Primaris and everyone was like, so, like, my normal Space Marines are just going to be phased out. They're like, no, they're not.
And yet they are,
It's
but that's
those
fine.
concerns. I still think they're going to phase them out someday. But
Yeah, but they are, but that's okay. Well, it's a slow and gradual process.
yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it's fine. And it's all characters. It's no
Exactly.
one that
Like
you
it's, I don't know.
absolutely needed to have.
I've never once seen someone run any of these fucking Actually,
Cantor. Paper
that's a
Cantor I've seen.
lie.
I've seen him.
Cantor I have seen, and I have seen Seth, but only like people who are like flesh tearers. And I've seen Artemis, but only because Artemis is used as a normal Death Watch captain, not even his name.
Yeah, yeah, he's just a cool looking
Artemis is
Death Watch
like the
captain.
only plastic model in that lineup too, right? Or there's like
Um,
two plastic models. It's
That's
all
its most.
old metals that transition to fine cast,
Yeah,
Yes.
for what I
exactly.
remember.
Grove cut.
So,
Yeah,
like
and
I
some
said,
of them.
not mad.
No, it's fine. Do it. It's
It's
what they
fine.
need to
The
do
world's
anyway.
not ending. Well, maybe it is.
I didn't realize that that someone else essentially was making better shoulder pads because I did think that was weird. Like, why the
Yeah,
shoulder pads?
yeah. I
That felt like
don't
a weird inclusion.
remember who it was, but GW has been trying to shut them down for a while.
Good luck
And
with
the
that.
guy basically said you cannot trademark um the word like he had them as a different name, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And he changed the symbol a little bit, but it was a lot cooler
Yeah.
than just a little like buzzsaw with a teardrop. Um, and they couldn't win. It's basically the chapter house thing all over again.
Yeah. And they're not going to. Like, no, certain things like that, it's too generic. You can't trademark a general look.
Can't trade Dark Space Marine. Sorry.
No. Well, they're not even the ones who had the trademark on it. It was before them. But all right. So that gives us the news. I think we'll stop with the news there because that's so many things.
Yeah, no, it's a lot.
Yeah. And that'll do it for us tonight. I want to start just by thanking everyone for listening on whatever mode that you do listen to this. Remember, we do put this out both on whatever podcatcher that you have, as well as we have a YouTube channel, Train Kickers Podcast, where we put all these episodes and a bit of video and things like that with it. And the hope is in the near future, we'll be able to put out more content there as well, and particular content, more than just a few of the battle reports that we've done. If you like the content that we're putting out, then we just ask that you like, share, subscribe, any of those depending on which sort of platform you're on. If you're on one of the podcatchers, leaving reviews or just sharing and letting people know and subscribing really helps. If you're on YouTube, same exact thing. Likes, subscribes, all of that really helps us to be able to keep making the content that we'd like to and be able to expand it from here. And now on behalf of everyone on the show, good gaming.